your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to The Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville. Has experienced hail damage, and there's never been a better time to buy a new or pre-owned vehicle. The hail was very spotty, some pretty light, others heavier, but there are huge discounts right now happening at Koppel. So please do not wait. Get thousands of additional discounts along with 0% APR. There will be a lot of people heading this way to purchase vehicles. So stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Old School? Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, New School Way. We are brought to you by the Mercado. 3 locations in Lincoln, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th and Old Cheney / Andre Matt, and 168th and Maple up there in the O. We want to thank Jordan P. for text message or texting in. Sky paging. That's what it was. The Sky pager. Sky pager, and then they had that the flip phone where you could just push the screen up. It's old school, Austin. Old school back in the day.
I had a slide phone.
You did?
I did.
Was that T-Mobile?
Samsung.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could in the screen, and that was pretty cool. Then that's phones that came a long way, man. But with the draft coming up, you got the portal opening up. You got a big thing going on. Now, the draft starts tomorrow, so Nebraska players got, they got probably, I think Nebraska's going to get 3+ guys drafted. All of them will get a chance. But come this Saturday, you got some Husker games, man.
You excited, Coach?
Yeah, I'm on there just watching and then advising. Do what I do best. because I can't do nothing else out there physically. But I think also for everybody that's listening, and if whether you're deciding to go or not, I think it's a good chance. Number one, you get to go and obviously I think you got to pay for it, but to go and check out the new facility. I've only seen it once, but I think it'll be well worth the money and seeing.
They only let you in there once?
I
You
mean,
didn't pull out the Jay Foreman card on him?
No, it's all right. I mean, it's their thing, man. I mean, I'm always trying to be respectful. Like I understand these players, it's their time, even they benefit off of like when we were there, but for the fans and stuff, and I know it's going to be a great day as far as weather-wise, come down and make a day of it, man. It's not just the Husker games. This is like a Husker day. You got the tours are available, I think, starting at early as 9 o'clock in the morning. And then you got the 7-on-7 at 1, Midland against Nebraska. And then you got the Husker, you got the spring game and entertainment in between the quarters. And then obviously you got John Cook and Heinrich Harburg battling it out, wrestle up some cattle or whatever. And then you got the finish of that. And then you got the soccer game at 4:30. And then after that, you got women's volleyball with the new regime officially handing the keys over in real life, getting to see this new era of Husker women's volleyball. So I think it's a phenomenal day, not only for the football team, but for the athletic department and the athletes as well. So, yeah, it's a full day. So you can pick and choose or really stay in it for the long haul like we want and expect all Nebraska fans to do so. So I think it's going to be a great opportunity for it to get a really good look into the football team. People say, well, it's supposed to be the guys that are, competing to stay on the team or competing for other places.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can see, I was told once that you can really tell who you're playing and what type of team you're about to face by watching special teams. That's going to let you know the depth of the team because you're going to have some good players on there, ideally. The speed, because the guys are running down on kickoff. All right. Physicality, because that's just how they practice. And also kind of like you can project who is ahead of whatever, or if you see some starters out there. But also I think you'll see some guys that look drastically different from last year to this year. And then also you're going to see guys really competing out there, trying to impress the present coaching staff, but then also set themselves up for I'll just even call it future employment. Somewhere else.
Coming.
Future employment. So forth and so on. So that kind of flows over into the draft. They make the draft a lot. I mean, the draft was excruciating to me, and it was 2 days because I thought there was a chance, or I hoped that I could go in the first 3 rounds, which was day 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'd been hearing that I was going to possibly go 3rd round. If I got super lucky, it'd be into the 2nd round, but more 3rd round. And that's when they, had some comp picks. So it was just not just the normal, you add up 90 picks. So I thought there was a little bit of leeway. So you're on pins and needles, and then that doesn't happen. And then you think, okay, I want to be gone early in the 4th. Well, linebacker's position, has some depth and weight. So now they have it 3 days. They just do the first round the first day, Thursday. Then
it still takes forever.
And then they do rounds 2 through 4 the second day, 5 through 7 the third. So if it was me, I'd be waiting to Saturday.
Early Saturday, but still Saturday.
I got gray hair now. I would have been balding and gray at 22 years old. But I think, when you look at the guys that we got, I think Ty Robinson is definitely going to get drafted. I think he's really made himself a lot of money in this offseason in a pretty deep defensive line class. I think he is one of the surprises. I'm not surprised, but I think nationally, I think he, athletically, he really opened some eyes and played well at the spring or the Senior Bowl. And then I think Thomas Fidone, I know he would test out and run well, but I think he probably did better than people initially thought. He caught the ball really well. He's a good kid, so I know he interviewed well. So I think he's going to get drafted. And then you got then you got a little bit of, I wouldn't say you got knowns and unknowns, right? So even though he kind of sputtered towards like the end of last year, Isaiah Nayors did really well at the combine and before that at the East-West game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's facts. And then the next guy I'm going to go to didn't go to the combine, is Nash. I think he did really well. One, I think he showed he's way more athletic than what people give him credit for. I think he ran well at his pro day. Really good in his All-Star game. Again, high quality, high character kid, and he has sneaky athletic ability that you expect him just to be a plugger. I think he's really helped himself. Isaac Gifford and Bullock too. I don't know if they'll get drafted, but they're going to be high priority free agents if they're not. But I know Bullock and Isaac ran well. They're tough physical players that are definitely stalwarts on special teams, and so those are guys that people really like on their team. And then the last guy who had just had a little bit of bad fortune go his way is Tommy Hill with his feet and not being able to perform as well as he'd like. We shut it down early this season. Couldn't really finish the Senior Bowl week, but had his pro day and fared pretty well. But I will say this, his junior tape was really good. So they do look at both, and they understand that he's been, hurt a little bit, and I think he'll interview well. And I think the one thing about him is that he started a little bit on the, in the doghouse with Matt Rule and worked his way out and really strived in this kind of accountability structure environment. So that lets you know that he can, when focused and motivated and all that stuff, he can be successful. So I think, as long as, it'd be interesting, somebody takes a flyer on him and tries to maximize, his athletic ability.
What position are NFL teams looking at Isaac Gifford as?
Well, I'm sure safety.
Okay.
But I think he can play the new version of safety. I think he can, play the post, maybe not in the middle of the field, but post, that means like cover 4, like a little bit, not necessarily linebacker depth, but in between linebacker and safety depth. I think he gives you in my opinion, I think he gives you position flexibility, and want to, and production on third down and nickel and dime defenses and peso. He can come up and play at the second level. He's physical, he can read, and he tackles pretty well, especially in tight spaces, which works out well for him. And then he plays special teams and can just step right in and be a contributing player on special teams. So I think that that's what really helps him. That's what helps Bullock. That's what helps all the guys that are, going into the draft at Nebraska, where they all practice and participate on special teams. That's huge. But generally, even for me, that's where you got to make the team. That's where you got to make a name for yourself, whether you like it or, you like it, love it or hate it, you got to do it. And so I'm really excited for these guys. A lot of the guys have been here through, Scott, and then obviously the first couple of years of Matt, and then, COVID and all that, like Ty and all those guys. It took a lot of heart, and to stick with it, stay at Nebraska. I'm sure they had opportunities to go other places, but then also turns out to be pretty good players and be successful. So that's a quality that they can take with them, not only to the next level, but the rest of their life.
I really liked Matt Rule answering the question he got about those guys in the NFL draft the way he did. Didn't see it coming, didn't expect it, but whoever it was that asked the question was along the lines of, what can, having more guys drafted for you do for the program? How can that benefit you guys moving forward? And Matt Rule's answer was essentially credit to Scott Frost and his staff for finding these guys, bringing them in and laying a good foundation. And then shout out to those guys for trusting us and wanting to stick around. It wasn't what it can do for the program. It wasn't this is what we do. It was a credit to the previous staff who he called by name.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
He said Scott Frost's name in the press conference, and then he said it was a credit to the players for sticking around. I can picture a lot of coaches, Jay, saying, "Oh yeah, so good for the program. That's what we do here. It's our system. It's our development. You come in here, you'll be the best." And no Matt Rule believes that he wouldn't have the systems or the people in place that weren't the best of the best in his mind, and I think that's completely fair. But I do think it was just a really classy move for Matt Rule to approach it the way he did, giving, credit to the previous staff for finding the guys and credit to the players for becoming who they were, which I thought would be right up your alley when you've been saying a lot these last couple of weeks in the pre-draft process. Development is as much, if not more, on the players than it is the coaches.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's no different than Bo Pelini coming in and getting the best out of Ndamukong Suh. And then he goes down as one of the most, greatest Nebraska players of all time, but then also in college football recent history, and then obviously very well in the next level at the NFL, dominant. number 2 pick, I think.
Mhm.
You got to give credit to Bill Callahan and his recruiting staff, John Blake and them, to get Ndamukong here. Then you got to give credit to Ndamukong and Bo Pelini and staff to get the best out of them. That's no different than Matt Rule mentioning Scott Frost and staff, by name. I mean, I think, look, man, you got to look at it. I think, and also I would say this, you want to give credit to like Mickey Joseph and those guys that took over after Frost was, relieved of his duties, because I truly believe that he took over a better locker room than what the record showed. And that's a credit to Mickey. It's a credit to the staff that stayed on with Mickey, and it's credit to Scott and his staff as well. So, just because it didn't end out, overall, it wasn't very good, when Scott was here. And there's different factors to it. I always say this, there was some positive things that he did. Look, he took the leap of faith and turned Cam Jurgens into the second highest paid center in the league. Where Cam Jurgens was able to embrace it and then make the most of it. He stuck with Cam Jurgens when people were trying to get him out of there, as far as the snapping issues. So the staff and that and Greg Austin and all them did what they needed to do, and same with everybody else that helped. And so you got to give credit to it, because they're good. It's the play on the field is a byproduct of like who Ty, Nash, and Isaac are. Bullock as well. You know what I'm saying? But so it's great that he gave him credit. He's like, look, man, these they recruited these guys, and then they were able to kind of mold them a little bit, and then they got them to a finished product. So it's all around. All around everybody gets credit, and then obviously I think a lot of the credit goes on the players who embrace different coaching staffs, but more importantly, embrace this situation here, because very easily those players, I'm assuming, had other opportunities, could just throw their hands up and leave. And so, especially
in the NIL transfer portal,
right, and where it became rampant, and now I would say more common. Oh, I got a new coach, I got a new position coach.
They see a smart player with some positional flexibility,
right, and I'm too good to be here. I'm out of here, and don't even give the new coaching staff a chance to, entice you to stay or really, express themselves and want you to stay.
You brought up Sue, that 2010 NFL draft. Do you remember who went ahead of him?
Ndamukong Suh. It's probably some weak quarterback. Which one of the ones that are bust?
Bradford.
Yeah, Sam Bradford. That's right. Sam Bradford was cold-blooded.
In college,
He was in the league. He was like a young Troy Aikman. And he was like he was like a young Troy Aikman, but he was hurt all the time.
He was
fragile.
Oklahoma had 3 of the top 4 picks in that draft.
Oh,
Gerald McCoy went 3, and then Washington took.
The Commanders?
Yeah. Well, the Redskins this time, but yes.
I was going to say Steven Alexander, but that was back when I played Washington.
Trent Williams.
Oh, I forgot he went there. That's like left tackle him and Lane Johnson. You can't get no better than that. Were they on the same team?
I don't know. I'll have to look that up. 5th pick, Eric Berry.
Yeah. Unfortunate for him, man.
Wildly.
Yeah. You be talking about him going to the Hall of Fame. Yeah. He was cold-blooded, man.
6th pick, Russell Okung.
Oh, the tackle from Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Yep. He like vegan. He like 185.
Yeah.
He was the one that remember he's a dummy. He got his contract in Bitcoin.
Right.
Good dummy.
Number 7, Joe Hayden, wide receiver from Maryland. They converted him.
Joe Hayden,
the corner.
I thought he went to Florida.
It says Joe Hayden, wide receiver, Maryland. So that's a typo.
That's a typo, I think. But he was a corner. Remember they saying that he wasn't fast enough. He actually ended up being pretty good.
Yeah,
he was at Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
Yeah, Pro Bowler a few times.
Hey, you want you know a sneaky fact about Joe Hayden?
Bloodline?
No.
Okay.
No. As a matter of fact, Bloodline needs to play good tonight. Joe Hayden, along with Dan Gilbert, started StockX, where you could resell shoes.
Oh.
If you watch Joe Hayden, he remember he said, so that's it. He's making more money doing that than he did playing football.
Number 8, Rolando McClain.
What a waste.
Number 9, CJ Spiller. 10, Tyson Alu.
Jacksonville. Yeah.
Yep, Jacksonville. Niners took Anthony Davis, offensive tackle from Rutgers.
See, that dude right there. He retired early.
Okay.
He was physical as all get out.
Ryan Matthews, running back from Fresno, went to the Chargers.
He was good until he broke his ankle. It was good.
ankle.
Me and him had the same ankle injury.
Ah.
I wonder how his ankles are right now.
Then you get a run. Brandon Graham to Philly.
Stalwart.
Earl Thomas to Seattle.
He was phenomenal.
Jason Pierre-Paul to the Giants.
Yeah.
Skip a few picks. Marquise Pouncey to Pittsburgh at 18. Yeah. Jermaine Gresham to Cincy at 21. Demaryius Thomas, 22. Brian Bulaga, 23. Des Bryant, 24.
I like that. Brian Bulaga was a tackle from Iowa, had short arms, right? And then he went and played at Green Bay. I don't know where he went after that.
Doesn't really matter.
Grisham was from Oklahoma too, right?
Yeah, tight end.
Man, you Oklahoma fans, you guys should be embarrassed. You got 4 dudes going in the first round, I guarantee. What was their record that year? 9-3?
Probably. Yeah, because there's the next year, 2010 season, that Nebraska had Oklahoma on the ropes in the Big 12 championship game.
Imagine Trent Williams in college.
Worst pick of the first round, though, my beloved Indianapolis Colts. Fresh off losing the Super Bowl.
Beyond Warner?
Jerry Hughes.
The DN?
The DN.
He was good.
He was fine.
Dude,
he was diet.
What do you mean?
Jerry Hughes?
Look at his stats.
I don't remember Jerry Hughes being that good.
Yeah, for you. Look at his stats. He went to Buffalo and Houston and put in work. He might be still playing.
He played 3 years in Indy and had 5 sacks. And then he goes to Buffalo and has 10 sacks back-to-back years.
Yeah, well, whose fault is that?
It's the Colts' fault.
It's the environment.
Colts' fault.
Too many nights at Elmo's. It's the horseradish. You could give him diarrhea.
Spicy.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Jerry Hughes for making something of himself in Buffalo. I just remember.
How many years was he in Buffalo?
He was in Buffalo from the 2013 season through the 2021 season.
That's 9 years. He was in Buffalo 9 years. And how many double-digit sacks? He was a sack master in Buffalo.
Only had 2 years of the double-digit sacks. He had 9 his first year in Houston and 22. So in Buffalo, he went 10, 10, 5, 6, 4, 7, 4.5, 4.5, 2.
Oh, so he kind of sputtered, but he always made.
But then
plays.
he had 9 his first year in Houston.
I think they had depth, like good pass rushers when he was in Buffalo, like rotated a lot.
They did not in Indy. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, you guys struck out. You had Bjorn Warner before that.
Man, he came after.
Did he?
This was 10. Warner was like 12, 13.
He was good in college.
He was.
Dwight Freeney and Mathis rolling over in their grave right now.
They're still alive.
No, they're just saying they're rolling over in their grave. Yeah, Raheem Brock too.
Raheem Brock.
He's from around where I'm from, East Coast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He represents.
My favorite Colts linebacker growing up was Cato June. You know Cato?
He went to Michigan.
I just say I liked him as a Colt. I didn't know he went to Michigan.
I think he coached at Howard.
I think so.
Man, that's crazy. The draft is it's a crapshoot. I'm gonna tell you this right now before we go to break. Nobody's sleeping tonight. Even though like Ty probably doesn't know that he's going like in first round. There's always a chance, but this is it. You're within 48, 72 hours of your childhood dream. There's no sleep to Brooklyn. You ain't in a good mood. You know, Ty probably knows he's going to get drafted. Now it's like you want to get drafted as high as possible, and you want to get to the place where you can prove yourself. A lot of stress. No sleep either. None. Matter of fact, I was thinking about this. One of my dad's friends called. Boy, I lit into him. He's like, "You get drafted yet?" "No, dummy. Stop calling." Because you got to give him like every number.
Right.
Just in case you don't answer one. And sitting there over the phone, man. I was already stressed out, thinking I might not get drafted.
One of your dad's Yahoo friends says.
Yeah. It wasn't even, it was just somebody knew him like, hey, we watching the draft. Jay, you get drafted? No, bye. Then they called back.
After you got drafted or again? Before?
Just like, why'd you hang up? Stop calling the house.
Waiting on a call, dang it.
Yeah. Yeah, when that phone went off, boy, the whole place went silent. It was like a little pump fake. It's like Kevin McHale. Anyways, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We're gonna look at the latest mock draft and then also the Big Ten, all the best players out of the Big Ten. Essentially, everybody at Ohio State. One UCLA guy and then everybody at Ohio State. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of showers and storms, especially this afternoon. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high near 73. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms are likely with a low near 56. Tomorrow, showers and storms continuing throughout the day with a high near 71. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Buckle up and hang on. This is going to be a good one.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time. One that celebrates fantastic finishes.
Crash together. So close.
And family-friendly facilities. Trading paint.
We got feuding.
And tailgating tradition. Burnouts. Beer. And barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time. And you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 9th through the 11th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Salt Mine City is not only Lincoln's newest brewery, but they're also now serving food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their peanut butter and jelly burger with bacon and cheddar cheese, or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. Don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 11 a.m. every day but Mondays at 8th and R.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere air seeder during Landmark Implement's Fast Start Early Order program. Take your seeding performance to the next level with John Deere's advanced air seeding technology. Achieve precise seed and fertilizer placement, optimize emergence, and cover more acres with less downtime. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year during Landmark Implement's Fast Start Early Order program. Contact your Landmark Implement for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman. Second segment here. A little bit of rain. That came in quick. There's not a lot of rain. It seems like it's done now, but
Rain, go away.
yeah,
That's
just
what all
ruin
my
the rest
haters
of the
say.
day. Just ruin the rest of the day. No grilling.
Sad.
You know what we're gonna do? I hope Dave from Renew is listening.
Dave texted in before.
Are you listening, Dave? Listen here. We're gonna have Dave come in from Renew Your Auto. He does a great job, by the way. I gotta take my stuff over there. I gotta get my car more dirty though.
Dave texted in when we were talking about liquid assets, which, by the way, go watch the NFL draft there tomorrow. 23 beers on tap.
Yeah.
Specific high-end bourbon and spirits bar. 30 TVs. Most won't be
That's
on the
a lot
draft.
of TVs.
Delicious wings, handheld sandwiches, including turkey melts, liquid gold hamburger, Bull Market barbecue burger, and more. And the thing that Jay and I are hitting up, that chocolate chip cookie skillet.
Oh man,
they're into one of them.
I love some chocolate chip with a little bit of lactose ice cream. I'm high maintenance. I gotta make sure my stomach.
As long as you admit it.
Yeah.
But yeah, David from Renew texted in and asked, "Oh, so do they have stake at Liquid Assets?"
Yeah, you know what? I won't say. Listen, I have to pitch in for a steak dinner. I ain't running from it because I like steak too.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm bringing Dave in there. My man, he's well traveled. He's well traveled in all walks of life, and he definitely seasons his meat and he knows how to cook. So we're gonna have on Old School. First of all, we're gonna do a poll on what's the best grill out there, Traeger or whatever. But we're gonna bring Dave in, and some of the stuff he's been preparing, we're gonna give him his props, man, because he can cook. I was pleasantly surprised, but a little bit of jealousy he was throwing down. I mean, he was up early. And then he had the alarm clock. I know you serious there. Yeah, you on time.
All right.
You know, like we say with our passes and passes, on time and on target. That's what he was doing. He was getting this stuff in and out of the oven on time. But one thing that's going to be on time is that draft tomorrow. And I mentioned it is that it's a joyful time because a lot of these players are spending it with family and friends, as you see at some of the reactions and stuff like that. But then also the players is a very stressful time. And this is the first time, you know, really going through this pre-draft or after, let's just say after college experience, that you're really not under a lot of structure. I mean, yeah, you might go somewhere and train, but there's no classes. There's nobody up there. You know, I'm sure some of these places that the agencies have nutritionists for you and stuff like that, but it's not like college.
Mm-hmm.
And then also you got a lot more free time because you're not going to school. So you're just trying to get better for the NFL. And then once you go through the combine, you're waiting. And then you got that gray area after you do your pro day or combine and pro day. And then if you go on a visit or something like that, but otherwise you're starting to get ready for football. But it's a long wait. And now, you know, a week ago, you're like, man, it seems forever that Thursday. Now it's the day before, you know, obviously Thursday and guys are going to get drafted and you're waiting to get drafted. So it's a long, stressful time. But I would tell you this. You're fortunate enough to get drafted. It's a phenomenal honor. You're going down in history, no matter if you go number one pick or Mr. Irrelevant. But then if you're not, it doesn't mean it's over or you can't make it, let alone London Fletcher end up being a Hall of Fame player going undrafted. So, you know, once you get a shot, you got to make the most of it. And they have more options for players now. Canada has always been an option, but it's a more viable option right now. But then also they have the UFL that's actually really good football, and it's not XFL and kind of, you know, janky and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's something I sent you, Austin.
Mm-hmm.
They put out the, I guess, the most draftable players in the Big Ten. It's very interesting. And it's all by ranking. And so the number 2 ranked player overall is Abdul Carter from Penn State. Number 3 is Tyler Warren, you know, Rob Gronkowski Jr. Number 5 is a guy that could sneak into that top 3. Definitely could sneak in the top 4. Basically, is Mason Graham, a defensive tackle from Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Really
freaky
good
athlete
and steady, former wrestler,
mm-hmm.
and also Grant next to him, 78, who ran down the Penn State running back earlier or like last year or something.
Mm-hmm.
He potentially is a first round pick. The next guy, who I think is just as good as the number 3 ranked guy, is Colston Loveland. I actually like him better, like across the board than Warren. I think if Warren gets to the right place, he's going to tear it. I like Loveland because of his route running.
Loveland seems a little bit more scheme proof.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, obviously fit and context matter for every player.
But yeah.
But I'm starting to get some like Deebo Samuel of tight ends vibes for Tyler Warren.
Yeah. And it's more kind of like San Francisco-ish, or whatever, but they won't be able to draft him. Will Johnson.
What if they do? Kittle wants a new contract.
They're going to pay George Kittle because they got rid of everybody else. This is more political now. He's getting longevity money. Just, I'm here. You got rid of everybody else. Everybody loves me in the fan base. You got to pay me, but you could replace or you could draft his eventual replacement. But this guy is going top 10.
Yeah.
Unless you trade somebody, could trade Brock Purdy and get up there, but
they're negotiating with him right now.
Yeah. Been negotiating with him for like 2 years.
3 years now. Right?
Hey, we'll get back to checks in the mail. Will Johnson. They were trying to say that he was just as good as Travis Hunter, not so much, but he's a really good. I think he's a value pick because he hasn't been able to test out well. Once he gets healthy, you're going to get a true number one corner. Derek Harmon, the number 13 overall defensive tackle, wears glasses when he plays. Huge human being,
not small.
He's like Buckner.
Yeah.
6'6", 290 pounds, no
Oregon
fat.
Too.
Yeah, he's really, really good. And has a tremendous upside. So I think that's a value pick, and he's a stud. Mika Mbuka, again, when you're talking about Travis Hunter, you're talking about McMillan, and all these different receivers. Mbuka is kind of like under the radar, but he's the best route runner, and he actually gives you the most position flexibility.
Yeah.
He can play outside, he can play the X, Y, and he can play in the slot. Or X
Ward
and Z.
2.0?
Who?
Hines Ward-ish?
Faster, but he can play the X or the Z or the slot. Everybody's talking about, the Texas receivers and all that because of the speed. You're talking about you got speed, production, and then also you have, I guess, the guarantee that he's going to be well coached coming out of Ohio State, and everybody else has been productive. He needs to be going higher. Josh Simmons, offensive tackle, he would be actually one of the top 4 picks if he didn't get hurt. He is a great athlete. It's all mental, and if his motor is running. Tyleik Williams, a problem. A problem in the middle. He's for real. Then you got JT Tamalalu, who's another problem. Probably butchered his name. Then you got.
I respect the effort.
I don't care. I just call him JT. He has a big
JTT. We had JPP, now you get JTT.
Yeah, you get him. And then Ohio State got Donovan Jackson. He's a road grader. He throws you out the club, right? Then you got Kenneth Grant, who I mentioned before, right? So now you're getting down in the 40s. Josh Connerly Jr., who actually I think came here, then decided to go to Oregon, or not came here, but thought about here.
Yeah.
Played okay, but not up to the potential. I think the move to Oregon didn't work out as good as forecasted. Jackson Sawyer essentially won the state or national championship with the touchdown or defensive touchdown. Really, put him over the edge. Now you have the 2 running backs here, Quayshawn Junkins, who if that's about right, 45, but I think the upside of him is huge. I think you're looking a little bit of a second tier Jamar Gibbs.
Ooh, interesting. I like that.
Because
I see it.
Big
Yeah.
route running and the same build, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though he wears shorts out there when he's supposed to be wearing football pads because he cuts them off he doesn't wear it over his knees. And here's the one, Carson Schwarzenegger, the stupid athlete from UCLA. He's the former track guy, I think, right?
Potentially.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about a 4.4 40. Explosive vertical jump at 6'3", 225. Top 50 pick or top 50 ranked player, right? So there's tremendous value. If you get him below, he's ranked 47 now. If you get him any 5 picks over 47, you're making up 10 times value.
Yeah.
And the last one is Trayvon Henderson, who is, look, you got 2 of the Ohio State running backs in there.
Better NFL ceiling, Judkins or Henderson?
I say Judkins just because of Gibbs and being able to be Alvin Kamara. If you need him, he can run in between tackles and gives you a little bit of punt and kickoff return ability too. So
then who's Henderson?
Aaron Jones.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
And he's
Okay.
he's a bigger Aaron Jones.
yeah.
He's an Aaron Jones when Aaron Jones first got on the scene. And Trayvon Henderson is phenomenal in pass protection. You're talking about day one starter. That's where he's maybe has the initial higher ceiling than Judkins based on that. He can step right in. He controls the pass protection. He's physical as all get out. And he can home run hit you. He can actually, I mean, that's why Ohio State was so tough. You had two running backs that kill you in the passing game and home run, and they're physical. Like there wasn't any weaknesses.
I know you never got blocked by a running back, but some of your other linebacker buddies who did get blocked by running backs in the NFL, who are the better pass pro backs?
Larry Centers was phenomenal. Larry Centers, he was kind of a modern day fullback, catch out of the backfield. He was really good, chip blocker. Larry Centers was really good as a pass pro guy. All of them back then were really good if they wanted. I mean, you know, obviously Eddie George and you know.
Well, Eddie, I mean, he's that big. Come on. Just stand in the way.
Edgerrin, they didn't ask Edgerrin to block that much because their offense really blocked, you know, because they were so efficient on offense. Edgerrin was good. Marshall Faulk was excellent. I mean, excellent. I went against Amon Green once. I didn't know he was hurt. Came on a blitz, and I was gonna try to run him over, and he cut blocked me. I was mad about
Rude.
it. But yeah, but he apologized afterwards. He said he was hurt. Fred Taylor was pretty decent, but you could get after him a little bit. Most back then, everybody was pretty good.
Right.
You know, and they never. Leroy Horde was really good. Now that was his specialty, you know, and so you had guys that were more specially oriented to do that.
I gotcha.
Yeah, but Larry Centers was excellent. We used to go at it. I mean, me and Larry Centers used to go at it, man. Like he would Larry, he would talk a lot of noise, and everybody hated him, but he was a phenomenal competitor. He's a good dude too. So. Anyways, we're going to take a quick break, come back, and I'm going to take Austin's prediction of how many players get drafted. And I'm going to give you my prediction of how many players get drafted from Nebraska. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, we'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine & More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions on 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197. assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC in Louisville. Has experienced hail damage, and there's never been a better time to buy a new or pre-owned vehicle. The hail was very spotty, some pretty light, others heavier, but there are huge discounts right now happening at Coppell. So please do not wait. Get thousands of additional discounts along with 0% APR. There will be a lot of people heading this way to purchase vehicles. So stop on in or check us out online at coppellcars.com. All deals with approved credit.
Cinco de Mayo is May 5th, but the party starts early this year at Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina with their street festival on Saturday, May 3rd. Come down to 8th and Q starting at 1 p.m. on May 3rd and see llamas from Sweet and Sassy's Llama Farm until 4 p.m. and enjoy face painting and balloon animals with Miss Shades at 2 p.m. DJ Wyatt will entertain from 6 to 10:30 p.m. There will be drinks, food, and giveaways, and best of all, no cover charge. It's the early Cinco de Mayo Street Festival with Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina, Saturday, May 3rd, beginning at 1 p.m. at 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Fleet Feet Lincoln is excited for the upcoming spring season and the warmer temps, and they want you to get outside and be active. Fleet Feet's Fit ID process takes a free 3D image of your feet to help runners and walkers alike find comfortable tennis shoes and inserts that ease pain associated with plantar fasciitis, bunions, and more. Get back on your feet this spring with a trip to Fleet Feet, open 7 days a week at 77th and Pioneers.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This just must be just mess with J Day. First Strick was doing this thing. Strick thought he was funny today too.
He thought he was.
He thought he was funny. Now we got Bill Mitchell in the Lighthouse coming out at 6. And then he got somehow it's what the cat drug in. Got Jason Peters in here.
Just know I'm clean today.
Yeah, I know. That's right, man. It's like the peace treaty. Austin, how many guys you think from Nebraska are gonna get drafted?
Ty Robinson, Thomas Fidone, Tommy Hill.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I like those 3. I think 4 are going to get drafted. I think
my wild card would be Nair.
That's what I was going to think. It might be 5. Ty goes a little bit early. They get a run on tight end. Fidone goes. And then they're surprised with Nair. I think the run on Nebraska players, if they exceed 3, or let's say exceed 2, comes like from that late 5th to 7th.
Yeah.
Because you're getting a ton of like comp picks and the values there because of the development and what you can do. And you're looking for special teams players there too.
Right. And this isn't what I'm about to say is not meant to be a complete comment on Nebraska or Nebraska players necessarily, but I do think that with as much as people in Nebraska focus on Nebraska, there is a little bit of a tendency to maybe overinflate what we think of these players compared to how NFL evaluators see them. And maybe sometimes we underrate Nebraska players because we see them. And I know I've been very guilty of this with one Bryce Williams on the basketball side, right? Like, don't get me wrong, he's a fantastic basketball player, but we as fans, as media, don't see things the same way as NFL teams do.
Yeah.
Every year I found myself guessing 1 or 2 more Nebraska players get drafted than they actually do.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to factor that in. I know every year's different, but I just know I've been maybe a little high on some Nebraska guys saying, well, why wasn't he drafted? But I just think right now, I mean, maybe Nebraska getting back to the 6 wins of bowl games, enough winning to get that extra prospect or 2 picked, but I don't know right now.
Yeah, I think just all the offseason hoopla. I think just because they're NFL guys, they keep an eye on college and you know being able to flip Dylan, a couple years ago, and then obviously playing better football this year than they did the previous year. And then also you have some guys that go to I think the guys that went to the combine really opened some eyes for everybody else. Because they're like, hey, it doesn't just stop with those four. So anyways, for Hump Day and Make Fun of J Day, this is Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, old school, new school way. We'll holler at you tomorrow.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 76